One watching. Welcome, welcome. And how are you this wonderful evening? Hi, Roberta. We're just setting everything up. All good. I got your note about hormones. And nice pair of photos. I like that.
Yeah.
Look good. Got all pertified, right? Good for you. How was square dancing last night? Square dancing, how was it? Oh, I should dance in Challenger Group every Tuesday. Good. That's one thing I suppose it looks like fun, but it also looks very confusing to me, and not something that, I guess I tried it once, but it was one of them forced in school, you will have fun, you will enjoy this, you will learn how to do this. And I didn't much care. Who is number two that's there that just walked in? Two of us now. Two of us. Well, had an interesting new person last night. I'm sure it's good physical and mental exercise. School forced sucks. Yeah, that kind of turned me off on it. Like, okay, all the boys over here, the girls over there, and you're really feeling awkward and dumb. It didn't turn me on. It soured me on it, I guess. But last night, there was a new person who had just recently joined the whole forum and was just having some good questions or whatnot else, and I rather enjoyed that. And I made him feel quite welcome. At least I hope I did anyway. And good for them. Somebody else subscribed. I get an email when people do that. And this new person is called The Prof. Okay, I don't see anybody by that name. And they do it at the wrong age where you get, oh my God, cooties. Cooties. Girls have cooties. Can't get near them, oh my God. Yeah, I know. I know the feeling. Good God, you don't want to get anywhere near them because you'll catch cooties. Eee! And although secretly you'd like to, but all your buddies say they have cooties, so you have to go along with it. Yeah, I know the feeling. You know, most people don't understand the word confusion. We do. So it wasn't a whole lot of enjoyment. Fortunately, I lived through it, and yeah, we're okay. At least now I'm okay. That new guy last night, he had a bunch of questions, legitimate, honest questions that I tried to answer, and I hope I made him feel welcome. Oh, I'd like to see him come back tonight. It would be great if he did. All right, I'm still waiting to hear who that second person is that's watching up here now. Reveal yourself. Because if you don't talk to me, I don't know who you are. And I can't answer any questions if you don't ask them. I'm not a mind reader. No, I need some help from you. Roberta does a wonderful job keeping things going as she can. I like your suggestion about hormones and what happens when, what do you do if, how would I go about addressing it? I don't mind talking about it, it's just because there's so many ways of doing it, everybody gets the wrong impression. I take one estrogen pill, my boobs will pop out in a heartbeat, and everything else will fall off, and it's done. It doesn't take that kind of effort. It doesn't work that way. I recall when I got my first set of medications. Oh, what a fun trip that was. I had gotten a phone call from Dartmouth Hitchcock Hospital. It's a teaching hospital up in northern part of the state. I'm sure you know where it is, Roberta. Anyway, went up to see Dr. John Turco, who was the endocrinologist, and quite good, as a matter of fact, and understanding. Well, talked to him a little bit, and he said, okay, we're going to begin this. I'll call in the prescription at the pharmacy. Which one do you want me to call it into? And I told him, and he said, you go home, and they'll call you today, and you'll be ready to roll. Okay. So I went home, and about mid-morning the next day, ring, ring. Hello. This is the pharmacy. We have a prescription for you. Okay. Now, I knew what it was. I had to force myself to not set a new land speed record getting to the pharmacy. I didn't want to get a ticket. Well, they wouldn't have given me a ticket anyway because they couldn't have caught me had it been going that quick. But I went over there, paid for it, got it, and I'm saying to myself, oh yeah, this is gonna good. Well, while I was on the way home, I had to stop by the mobile phone office to pay my bill. Oh, I walked in, and I get the usual business like, good morning, how you doing, sir? And I thought to myself, I am doing so fantastic. You don't have any idea how well I am doing. But I just kind of said, yep, I'm doing okay. Paid my bill, got home, and I said, okay. Sat there at the kitchen table, had a glass of water, put him down, looked at him. Yeah. glug, glug, drink, boing, boing, plop. Nah, it don't work that way. But for a very few seconds, I had this fleeting, fun dream. Suck it all down at once. Boing, plop, fall off, done. It don't work that way. And it don't even happen in a couple months. Now, what he told me, and it came true, with the estrogen, the testosterone blocker, things don't happen down there. But you reach a point, and it happens so slowly with the estrogen you're taking, it kind of doesn't work anymore, but you really don't care that it doesn't work, if that makes sense. And it takes about 6 months, give or take, for upstairs development to start. The skin gets softer, I guess. Does hair fall out? Not really, but it does. But they were in the middle of doing either electrolysis or waxing or neat or electrolysis or plucking it all. So we have ways of getting rid of it, and the hair just kind of gets tired of being attacked like we do. And so it doesn't come back. And hair, body hair, when you shave it or clip it, you get a dull, flat, blunt end. So when it grows back out, you got that blunt end, which is why it feels so prickly and stubbly. But if you epilate or wax, you've pulled it out by the roots. And hopefully you've gotten the follicle, the root, the whole ball of the thing, and nothing will ever grow back. But there's 3 stages. If you catch it on the wrong stage, or 3 cycles, if you catch it on the wrong cycle, that hair is coming back. But when it comes back, it grows finer because it's more pointed and new hair growth. Feels finer. So rather than coming back as a stump, it comes back as pointy and consequently feels smoother. So there's a little bit of mechanical difference. Depending upon how predisposed your physiological makeup is to hormones, your mileage may vary. That's really all I can say. On average, 6 months, more or less, development and changes will start happening. It takes every bit of a year to reach a point. Yeah. How about wearing a bra? I found after about 6 months with development, it became almost a necessity. I was doing it beforehand because I had something there. But with any growth, it became like, I really need something. Because when I would go to the gym doing any running on the treadmill, slum blump, bounce, that's really uncomfortable. So I needed something anyway at the gym. Yeah, it varies with age and results. The younger you are, the more amenable you are to any changes. 2 years under the care of a proper knowing endocrinologist who has been taking blood samples and checking you on a regular basis. Any growth that you're expecting will have happened, and that's pretty much all there's going to be, not much more than that. Most of the change has happened over a 2-year span, slowly but surely, under constant supervision. Never, ever, 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 ever self-medicate. No. Dumb if you do. Always have blood tests. I know you're not going to believe me. I know. Oh, good for you, a young child at 35. Yay. I was darn near twice that age. If you don't believe me about hormones, and I know what I'm doing. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Mostly you don't. Go with blood tests. Always, always, always. You know, you can't do it on your own without trying. It will kill you. It will mess you up in ways you don't even want to think. Especially if you change your mind partway through. Some of those effects are permanent, long-term, never get it back. So, blood tests, competent supervision, qualified people. You're meddling with something that can really injure you. Be really careful with it. All right, there's no questions. No further discussion. Be careful, have yourself checked. Don't self-medicate. Period. End of. Osteopenias or osteoporosis and risk self-medicating on deep blood tests to avoid it. Yeah. You can hurt yourself. Don't do it. End of. I can't stress that enough. How do you put in the hormones? Oh, golly. There's a number of ways. Pill. I personally was on pills. A prescribed amount on a daily basis. However, you know, the amount of estrogen was required to overcome what T I was blocking. So, after surgery, when I had the little T makers left, as a result, I didn't need as much estrogen as I had been taking. Kind of like not needed anymore. So now, I'm down to a certain medically supervised, prescribed amount once a month injection. You can do it self-injection. There are little capsules about the size of a grain of rice that the UK is great for using. Put in under the skin, and then you come back every 6 months and have the rice pellet exchanged.
That's mine done every year.
There are... Steffi has hers done every year because she was halfway there to start out with, so she's good at that. There's pills, there's self-injection. Self-injection, if you go that route, and that's what I do, learn what you're doing before you poke yourself with anything. Right. The amount prescribed varies with age and body weight. Blood test will tell the doctor the right prescription level. Exactly. I have a specific level I've been prescribed of estrogen, once a month injection. The good part of the injection is it's intramuscular, not vein. It dissipates throughout the body, and you're in good shape. Pills, where do pills go? They have to be filtered through the liver. With an injection, there's no excess work the liver has to do. Goodness knows I've exercised my liver filtering functions over my lifespan. But we're not going to go into that. So I like the injections. There are a couple places you can self-inject: top of the thigh, arm. And if you look online, do some research, there is a number of informative YouTube videos on how to self-inject. Steffi had found one for me from the military. One of the old military training flicks from mid-50s. It was actually how to self-inject in the event of chemical warfare. And, you know, the EpiPen or the anti whatever it is pen you would use, how to give yourself an injection. I found that to be actually, for me, helpful, because while I was back home without her around, I had to do it myself, so I did it at the top of the thigh. You got to be careful where you put it and how you go about it, but you can do it. As it is now, once a month, I'll take my pants or dress and lower it and expose one cheek, and she'll play darts. And then it's my turn for her. So we shoot each other once a month, and it works fine. Your missions, your mileage may vary, your age and description, where you are, who's around you, what kind of support you get. There's 100 ways of getting around this, or going through it, or whatever. But I'm not going to be able to give you any one, you should order this, and this is the way you do it. No. There's so many variables to take into account. This is not a one-size-fits-all description. Everyone has to be tailored to their own fit. And yeah, whoever does the prescribing, there are trade-offs from one to another. Patches is another one. A little transdermal patch, a gel you can wipe on, injections and pills. There's a number of ways of getting it into yourself. Each one has an advantage. Each one has a disadvantage. Whoever your prescribing physician, primary care person, PCP, whatever you want to call that medical guy, gal, if they know what they're talking about, and you are open and upfront and free talking with them, you'll be able to figure out what is best for you as you need to know this. And depending on how you feel, you know, some people are scared silly of needles. So injections are not going to be your thing. You might want to consider a patch or a gel to spread on. Depending if you have an allergy or a sensitivity to wearing some of their patches, they can leave a red mark or irritation. I mean, much like the nicotine patches, you know, it feels like you're getting stung with a bee. So there's whatever's most comfortable for you, for your end result. You can't answer the question. Relatives, they don't know enough, and you should find a new doctor to talk on the subject. Exactly. Do your own, you who are going to be the recipient of all this stuff, do your research. Do not expect the doc will know what they're talking about. Don't expect that. You do your research, have a list of questions and concerns you have. Lay them out. Okay, doc, this is my question. And if he can't give you a straight answer and he starts mumbling and bumbling, good day, goodbye, go find another one. That's simple. It's your life, it's your body, it's your future you're diddling with. If they can't help you right, you don't need their help. Because they're only going to meddle you up. And you don't want that. Not at all. I found a good physician endocrinologist, my family doctor. Yeah, I had a good team. The therapist I went to see, she knew what she was talking about. She knew somebody else who was in the field when it came time for surgery. You needed 2 letters. My family doctor, who helped me along with all of this, recommend that endocrinologist who knew what he was talking about. I had a group of people all working on my side who I understood what they said, when they said it. They knew what they were talking about. You know, don't go half-cocked off of this. Don't go off half measures and, oh, I'm going to take a pill and I'll be all girly and everything will be roses and sweet. No, it won't be. It takes a long, determined effort to get to where you want to be. And it's made that way specifically. There's a reason why it takes a long time. And in the end, we know more about this than many doctors because they don't take the time to study it. They know it, but they don't think of it as a primary source of study.
I said that to one. You can understand possibly what we go for, and the woman said, or was it the man said, but I was born a girl.
Steffi just told me a story.
Oops.
Steffi was seeing a doc, and she said to the doc, "You can't understand what we think, what we go through." And the doc, he looks at her and says, "I do. I was born a woman." Oh, okay, I guess you do understand. But the point is, most doctors, physicians, surgeons, medical practitioners, they don't know. They don't have a clue. We have to educate them. They know the mechanics of it. Yeah, see, there you go. Your GP doctor happens to be TG. Perfect. You got it in the bag. So you understand. They understand all much better than some others. I was fortunate with my team. You got to know what you're doing before you do it. And I'm going to relay a little story which scared the heck out of me, and I'm glad it did. You know, you can't go quick at this. You really can't, and that's what this whole story involves. I went to a conference in Albany called Empire Conference. Some of you might know of it, some of you might not. I don't know. Anyway, while there, this gal was her first time there. I come to find out that, well, she drove from Buffalo to Albany. Now, that's about a 3-4 hour ride, something of that nature. Anyway, she left Buffalo, headed to Albany to the conference. She got about 100 miles down the road. I realized, I can't do this. No, I'm too scared. No, and she went home. Got home and thinking, taking the suitcases out. Doggone it, I gotta go. There's no question. Put the suitcase back in the car. Down the road she goes. She's about 150 miles. Nah, I'm too scared. Takes off the interstate. Turns around, starts heading back. Got to thinking about it. Got about 75 miles headed back home. By golly, I'm gonna go. And she went. Oh, she was happy. Oh, this is the best thing I ever did. Was just amazed and so happy that she stuck it out and went to this. Well, the next year, she went back there for the second time. And oh, it was all well and fine, and she was just loving it, and this, that, the other thing, all good, heaven and roses and all this. Happy petals.
Oh, that one.
And had already booked her surgery date for about 2 weeks out. So, I mean, she said and did all the right things. And she had her surgery. Good for her. 6 months later, she looks down and says, I can no longer stand to pee. And it all came crashing down on her that, oh, all my thoughts of roses, petals, and life is going to be so much better. And she was basically jobless because where she did work, they kind of made her job redundant. We know what happened there. Why? But she couldn't find another job. She blew her brains out. She was not ready. She was just not ready. So I heard that it's like, holy shit. So it scared me. That's why it took me almost 3 years, 2.5, better than 2.5 years from the time I said I wanna for my surgery. There's a reason for it. You better be sure that you're sure. You better be positive, beyond positive, that this is what you want to do positively. Because there is no going back. Oh yeah, you could put on some undies, a bra filled with some fake boobs, a dress, and a wig, and have at it. Good for you. Let your hair grow out, get it styled. Good for you. That's reversible. You can go find a doc, get a boob job. Good. That's reversible. Tomorrow you can pull them out. In, out, out. And put zipper fittings in there. You push them in when you want. It's reversible. Depending on your age, you start taking T blockers and estrogen. Okay, so he doesn't work anymore. Well, if you're old enough, you really don't care if it works or not. So it may or may not be reversible, but depending on age, you may or may not even care if it's fixable. So all these, you can go get a facelift even if you want. Be real pretty. Get collagen injections and the Botox, and a lot of men do that. You can do all that. It's okay.
And it's reversible though for a certain extent because of the skin.
And some stuff, depending on your skin, like she says, may not be reversible, but if you don't go too far girly looking, it doesn't mean anything. You just look younger and better. But once you get out the pair of scissors to put it out on the table and go snip, now you got a problem.
Yeah,
because unlike a bad haircut, it don't grow back.
And persons, you got half how to live.
And if you do it yourself, go in the kitchen drawer, pull out the butcher knife, whack chop. You got about 30 minutes before you bleed out. Ain't no good thing. But if you go to a surgeon to have him do it right, he can't put it back when you're done next week. And say, I don't want to have to do this. So you got to know what you're doing before you do it. Positively be positive about this and understand what's up. I cannot even come close to stressing it enough what you need to do and how to be careful about this, because if you don't, you're going to have a problem. And if you have a problem, don't come crying to me that, well, Phyllis, you didn't tell me. No, I never said do anything one time or other. The only thing I said would be darn careful what you do because you got to be careful.
Yeah.
And I can't begin to talk about that enough. Roberta understands quite well. I'm hoping that there are some going to be watching later on. Hang on a moment here. Let's see what we got. Six people in chat. Who's in chat? Okay. Them. What the hell was it talking about? Trans punk. Okay. Oh, there's 3 of you there. Hey, welcome, number 3. Wait, you must have just popped in. And I'm glad so glad you're here. It helps. Every little bit. If you can read the chat log going back up, we've been addressing the ins and outs and the advantages and pitfalls of hormones and how to administer them for yourself, how to go about getting them, and what happens when you do, and on and on. So if you have a question that you can't find an answer to or were wondering, I'll repeat the subject quite happily. No, please don't feel guilty. If just one person does all the questioning, I can address that. Just when I see a blank page, that drives me crazy. I have nothing to go on, nothing to bounce off of or work with. Oh yeah, like last night. The gentleman who was on here last night, new person on our site, who had a few questions. I was happy to address those. And it gave me something to work with. You know, how does if a cook goes to the cupboard, the pantry, and finds it like Mother Hubbard's cupboard empty, how are they going to prepare a meal? Got to have some ingredients in there to make things go. Words and questions on the chat site here are the ingredients I need to address this to make a nice banquet of information. I must say that hairdresser you found, cute. Really cute. Lucky you.
I didn't realise.
Yeah?
Until I read Roberto's message again. And
Yeah.
like, maybe. I just thought it was,
Okay. She TG and owns the salon. Yep. Good for her. See? People will say, I'm trans, I can't get a job. Baloney. Work at it, you'll get a job. You got no less of a chance of getting a job than anyone else. Effectiveness of herbs instead of proper medication. My opinion, and my opinion only, herbs, poultices, potions, such and such ginger root, concoctions, call them what you will. I have a descriptive term for all of them. They combined all of them. Snake oil. I don't really put a lot of stock in their effectiveness. They're more of a, you think something's going on, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but you feel good about it. What's the word I want to use? A placebo. Take this pill and you'll grow boobs. So you start taking a pill. Oh, you got to take 3 a day. Okay, 3 a day at $900 a month prescription rate, but they're good stuff. They'll work. Because you look at the pictures on the site, and they got these beauty queen winners with a set of hooters that would rival Dolly Parton.
You got hooters.
And you think, wow, I can grow them. Yay. And you're pumping out $900 a month at these pills, and they keep telling you, oh, it's going to work, it's going to work. And after a while you say, well, I feel something, maybe it is. I'll go get some more. And it might be even a sympathetic growth. Personally, I don't put a lot of stock in them.
Yeah? How about a transformation?
Oh yeah, and there's
For
another.
about $1,000 a month, we can give you a load of different breast cream.
Yeah, there's a site in the UK called Transformations.
Yeah, avoid them.
Avoid them. You can spend $1,000 a month on various pills, potions, and whatnot else, poultices, and on and on and on. And it's so many empty promises, creams, and this and that. And it really isn't going to be the greatest. Just, but it's a legitimate business in what they say and the way they say it. You know, they'll say in very small letters in the very bottom of the corner, your results may vary. You might not have as much in the picture. The picture is for illustrative purposes only, which means we got a big boob broad in here to show you what could happen. You know, it may not, but it could happen. You know, and there's a whole bunch of fibbery.
You're obviously 100% female born.
And you can tell from the various posts on this site that herbs, creams, etc. are sworn up by virtually all the members of this TG community on the site. Yes. Everybody on our site kind of all says, yeah, okay, you can take it, but ain't gonna work. And they don't put a whole lot of stock in trust in what we got. And I kind of believe that. Not going to be worth the effort. I never did, because
I tried it. I spent about $600-700 a month. Nothing happened.
for how long?
About a year.
All right, Steffi just mentioned to me that for about a year she spent a rather considerable amount, and nothing happened.
Just under 3 figures a month.
Yeah, just under 3 figures a month, or what we call four-figure numbers. You know, high hundreds. Let's put it that way. And for a year, that's a lot of money. A lot of money.
I could afford it though.
We can't see Steffi tonight. No, because tonight she's at her workbench next to me doing some kind of board repair fix. Doing something with some boards. Give me one.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That one. That's one I built.
Okay. She just finished building this logic board. All right. Did all the soldering on her own, by the way.
It's a CNC board.
It's for a CNC machine that we're going to convert our printer to a CNC machine. And
Put a laser cutter on it and be sorted.
yeah, a laser cutter. We're having fun with this whole project, but she does these kind of things. So I think it's pretty cool. For me, when it comes to electrical, if I plug it in and nothing happens, I call somebody. That's it. That's my level. Give me nuts and bolts and mechanics, I can figure that out. But if it's electrical, I'm lost. Metal shavings on the carpet, I'll love it. I have a cabinet I've made, and we hook up the Hoover to the bottom, suck it all up. No, I'm not going to do it out in the open. No. And if I do anything like that laser cutting, I got a shed outside we built. It'll go out there. No CNC machines cutting of metal in here in-house. I have enough wire clippings and solder blobs already on my carpet. No, that's where she is and what she's up to. Give me another board. Give me the other one. Yeah, here's another one that she's in the process of building. Got to put a bunch of chips on it, but she's... See, that one came already pre-soldered, right? Yeah.
No, I'm not building it.
You're not building this one.
Chips have 3 fuses.
Okay.
A low range, a high range, and a mid range. And it basically sets the low and high end powers to the different parts of the chip.
Oh, so she's...
So what I've got some chips here with the wrong fuse settings. So I put the chips in there, I power it on, and it resets the fuses, which means the chips aren't bricked anymore. So you basically take a chip with bricked, put it in there, and it makes it usable in about half a second.
Yeah, I watched her at this. If you got a logic chip that's kind of a brick, this repair board will fix it.
Mind you, I make my own PCBs as well, don't I?
Yeah. So she's having a good time with that. Again, not me. We were in town today to stop by a powder coating facility because we're building a new printer that will be 24 by 24 by 24. The one I have now works for a 12-inch bed. I want to go up to an 18-inch bed, so to do that I need to make a bigger one.
Oh, and if we had a 24-inch bed, then we'd have been offered absolutely shitloads of work.
Yeah, well, I was talking with the guy, explaining what I was going to do, and that I need the frame powder coated because I'm using carbon fiber rods for the sliders, and I want it all nice, same color. He knew a little bit about 3D printing, and he asked me, he says, how big of an item can you print? I said, well, we can go 18 by 18. And he was kind of hoping I could do 21 by 21 or more. Why come? Apparently, powder coating, you'll need an oven. No, not for painting. Powder coating the framing of the aluminum, powder coating the aluminum frame that we're going to be using to build that with, just for looks. I can buy the anodized aluminum extrusion, but that's really expensive stuff. Come to find out that having the whole frame built and then powder coated actually works out cheaper for what I'm looking for. Anyhow, it appears that there was some motorcycle, and I'm thinking he said, I can't remember what it was, what brand he was talking about, but apparently this was a spoked wheel, 21-inch diameter, that if I could have printed him up one that he could use for a prototype for casting, it would have been a boodle of bucks he would have paid me to make the print.
That's more than one print, wasn't it?
It'd have been one print, but it'd have been a bundle of bucks because he would have had that as a master to make a lot more others for his own self. Anyway, oh well. Such is the glory of life. What should have been, what could have been, only if. So much for that. I was thinking of doing the anodizing of the framing myself, but I did a quick Google search of home anodizing. No. More problem than it was worth. I looked up, home done powder coating. If I was going to do a lot of it, yeah, it'd have been worth buying the tool to do it with, but one-time shot, called somebody. And, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Once I start building this, I'm going to be showing you what I'm doing as I'm building it in the evenings, just because, for the fun of it. give you a quick little tour.
I'm going to swap to Linux.
Hey, this has been kind of interesting. We've got almost 50 minutes in. And, yeah, there's only been a few people, but I guess we're doing okay. Let's see, where are we now? Let me move this over here. And I was kind of hoping that I could figure out where my subscribers are. I had 24 or 25 of them now. And that's interesting. Okay. I'll find you somewhere. At least it's staying light later.
I prefer the light times in the summer in the UK though.
Hmm?
I prefer the light times in the UK.
Yeah, well,
we could bring them here, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah. UK sits higher than we do here. So their summers, sundown is like 10 p.m., 11 o'clock at night. So their summer days are much longer than ours.
Last light in the UK is 11:30. First light in the UK is about 2 o'clock.
Yeah. She just told me that the first light in the morning is about 2 a.m. Last light is about 11:30 p.m.
I was at the very top of Scotland once, and I watched the sun go down. This is on longest day of the year, July the 21st. And I watched it go down, and about 45 minutes later, I watched it come up.
Yeah,
It didn't get dark. It was like a glow in the sky.
The northern part of Scotland, longest day of the year, July 21, or is that June 21?
Top.
Whatever the longest day is. She was at the very top of Scotland.
July 21, summer solstice.
July 21, okay. Anyway, she watched the sun go down, and 45 minutes later, it was back up. It never really got dark. It was sort of like dusty. That half hour after sundown, and a half hour before sunup. So it was like that. Maybe have the stream just a couple of times per week so that people queue up and do the topics. June 21. It is June. Okay.
Summer solstice. I know that because I've been to Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Which was
June 21.
Yeah.
Not July. You were saying July.
I said June.
Thought you said July.
June.
Okay.
Summer solstice. I used to go to Stonehenge occasionally. Watch it go through the altar stone. Well, it was only 45 minutes drive from where I lived.
Yeah, I know.
Through Salisbury, up to Waynesbury, you're there.
You're there, yeah. Have the stream just a couple times per week so that people queue up and still do the topics. You know, you might have a good idea there. Does Monday, Wednesday, and Friday sound good? All right, we got 3 people. You and 2 others. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Everybody, show of hands. Who's up for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Am I going to have to start making choices on my own here? Okay with you. All right, if I get just one answer, then I could go with that, really.
They've had enough of you already. Too much.
What do you mean?
Too much Phyliss in their face. Yeah. They're like, no, we just don't turn on.
Yeah, I might just try that. Today was Wednesday. Okay, when I poll. Oh, come on.
Already done one. For what time?
Yeah. If I just go to if I just go to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, call it good at that, and say that's all there is to it, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Live stream Friday the 7th. Six P period M period PST. Okay, live stream Friday, April 7th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, that'll do that. All right, how does that sound? Yeah. Okay. PDT? What you going to Albany for, sweetie? I'm going to leave it BST, only because I got it written down. Live with it. Live dashboard, that's what I want. No.
Put it there anyway.
Okay.
Do you know what made Linux screensaver?
Daylight savings now. Albany is a square dash weekend. Oh, okay.
Phyliss, look at my screensaver for Linux.
Yeah.
Windows, yeah?
Yeah.
We suck more, and that's guaranteed.
I know what you mean about daylight saving time. I just don't feel like changing it now that I got it wrote down before I hit save on it. But we're coming down to my last minute anyhow. Oh, just fun get-together square dancing. Okay, good for you. Hope you enjoy yourself with that. To the other two who haven't spoken much, I wish you had. I really do. It would have been nice. Poor Roberta had to do all the work tonight. I enjoy that she did. I really do, because it gave me something to address.
Roberta, when you coming out here?
Yeah, when you... Oh, I'm sure if you looked around, you could find a California square dance competition you might want to go to join in on.
Yeah, we could take you to LA and Frisco and a good nightclub in Frisco, which is a TG one. Alcatraz.
Yeah, if you want to come out to visit, because you want to come out to visit, more than happy to have you. Let me know.
We live on a 40-acre ranch at the top of a mountain. Ooh, about half a mile from the main road. Found out last year we don't have any neighbours. Surrounded by trees.
And we just kind of, I know, recreational, just not even competitive. Good for you. Okay, my hour's up. I want to thank it.
I said, come out and visit.
Yes, I want her to.
I'd like her to.
Okay, we're done. Thank you again for everybody, and especially to you for your help and assistance with everything. Okay? Bye-bye.